Good morning, everybody. This is Michele with Fun in Key West, and I am so glad that you stopped by for today. We are celebrating Thirsty Thursday, and I thought, you know what? Summer is just around the corner, and Mom's Day is this weekend. So don't forget, if you haven't done your shopping, Mom needs to be celebrated. We have a busy weekend around Mother's Day every year. It's my dad's birthday, and it's one of my kids' birthday. So Mother's Day just kind of sometimes gets lost in the abyss, but now that everybody's starting to get a bit older, reviving back, celebrating just the weekend and what it is. And I got to thinking, nothing says Mom's Day or summer like margaritas. I know, right? You can have them on the rocks, you can have them frozen, and when you go to Key West or any tropical someplace that you go to, margaritas are always on the menu, right? There's just something about margaritas that scream tropics. Pair it with a taco and something spicy, and I'm telling you what, you have got a party. But if you don't want to go out and you want to create something in your backyard for everybody to enjoy, let's talk about making margaritas at home and having homemade margarita mix. And Mr. Coffee has joined us to tell you all about this. Having homemade margarita mix in your fridge ready to go is the best way I know to be prepared for anybody stopping by for fun in the sun in your backyard. So let's talk about the perfect margarita. The good ones, don't they always seem to taste like vacation, right? I think they do. I have been known to have a large mason jar because I like keeping things in glass. I don't know about you. I think the flavor stays better. Plastic has a tendency to, I don't know, make things taste plasticky. Maybe it's just me. But I like to use mason jars to make sour mixes and simple syrups and all of that and keep it in the fridge. They don't stay very long because they'll go bad pretty quick because it's all fresh ingredients and there's no preservatives, but also because you're going to use it. Here's the homemade margarita mix I use. I do a cup of fresh lime juice. Now, you can fresh squeeze these. I have been known to grab some of that key lime juice that's not the green bottle or the fake limes or anything like that, but that key lime juice that you can get in the mixer section of the cocktail section of the grocery store. I've been known to use that, but if you can get fresh limes, grab some of those fresh limes, a cup of water and a cup of sugar. So basically what you're doing is a third, a third, and a third. So you're going to end up with a third, about 2 cups of liquid. Here's what I start off doing. I warm up the water and the sugar together just enough to get that sugar melted. I take it off the heat and then I add my lime juice. And then I let it all mix together, pour it in the mason jar, throw it in the fridge, and we're ready to go for a margarita. You can use this margarita mix for other things too. We'll talk about that here in a second. Now, to make your margarita, you can take 2 ounces of tequila. I like silver tequila. Now, my husband Kevin, he likes more of the smokier tequilas, so he'll lean more into that kind of tequila. But whatever flavor profile of tequila you like, use that. And then an ounce of triple sec, and then an ounce of the homemade mix. So it's 2 ounces of tequila, an ounce of triple sec, and an ounce of the homemade mix. You then pour that over ice, shake it. I like my margaritas over ice, but if you have a frozen concoction maker, a Margaritaville frozen concoction maker, or you have a great blender, throw in some ice, throw in your mix, and make yourself a slushy one. However you like it. If you like salt on your rim, put salt on your rim. If you like something a little spicier, mix it with some chili sauce, some chili powder, play around with it. Maybe some basil, something like that, mint. Play around with it. You can also muddle in some strawberries into this or some mango, or if you're going for that spicy, do a little bit of pineapple, maybe add some jalapeno, or try out some flavored tequila. Hello, coconut tequila or watermelon flavored tequila. Play around with it, have a taste testing. If you are skipping the alcohol or serving people who are more into mocktails, you could do a limeade with a splash of orange juice and then top it off with some club soda. That is a refreshing drink any time of the day. And if you are at work, think about mixing yourself one of those for your afternoon pick me up. It's like you've escaped to the beach, but no tequila. So now that you've figured out and have your homemade margarita mix on hand, you got to set up the backyard and get it all ready for parties and spontaneous fun. We have lights that are strung in our backyard. I highly recommend if you can string lights somehow, do it. It just brings that funky, cool vibe. And honestly, when we visit places like Key West and then you come home, you want to recapture that feeling, that fun, that magic that you had. And putting this little fun things in your backyard will bring you and transport you right back to that really fun vacation that you had. So string up some lights, get some of those tiki torches. I just like the way they are. If it's in your budget, put in some colorful pillows or chairs and get some pops of color. That the backyard or your front porch will always look better when there's pops of color. You can do some tropical plants. If you live in a place that, tropical plants aren't going to last very long, go online, look at seeing if you can get some fake ones that look pretty darn real. My backyard gets full of deer, and even with the deer resistant plants that they say are deer resistant, they eat them. So I have, for the last several years, fooled them and have put out some wonderful fake flowers in the pots. I have caught the city deer here trying to eat those plastic plants, but I save on money. They're not eating them. They're very low maintenance. So there's another thing. If you want to put up an umbrella or a canopy for shade because you don't have that where you're at and you want some, go for it. Get one of those really colorful, funky umbrellas. They do all kinds of things. Stream in the music. Music sets that mood of where you want to be or where you wish, that the location that you're at is. Think Jimmy Buffett, steel drums. Think of Kenny Chesney. Go on Spotify and create a playlist of all of your fun things that remind you of Key West. I might even think about creating a Spotify playlist that I'll share out there. I'll make a note to myself. Set up your bar if you're having people over. Do a cart, set up a table, add a bowl of limes, a salt rimmer, some colorful napkins, print out the margarita mix, put it into a picture frame so people can make their own. You can take that margarita mix that we talked about and you can use it to make margarita cupcakes and even margarita ice cream. And those recipes can be found over at FunInKeyWest.com under Island Inspired Recipes under desserts. Love the margarita cupcakes, and I am obsessed with that margarita ice cream. And don't forget, if you have to have those candles out there, the tiki torches are the candles to keep those bugs away because we want to be outside and not get all full of insect bites and all that. If you're looking to set it up and make it as a party this weekend for mom or sometime for the summer, make a theme night, taco and margarita night. Invite your friends, set up a taco bar, and then have a picture of pre-made margaritas there, and then they can just pour them out. You can use a folding chair, coolers, and a speaker and set it up in even the smallest patio, the smallest balcony, the smallest apartment balcony can transport you to wherever you want to be. Think bright cups, think fruit garnishes, add a cool sign that maybe you pick up at a craft store, and have them tag you and do it like Instagram pic setups. I think that makes it a lot of fun. Like I said, you can go over to FunInKeyWest.com under the Island Inspired Recipes under desserts, and you can grab the recipes for the margarita cupcakes and the margarita ice cream, but you can also check out all of our margarita recipes over there as well under the cocktail section. And I think that It's a way we're starting to kick off summer. We're getting geared up. Summer's just right around the corner. We're starting to plan what's our backyard going to look like. We only have so many weekends to spend and enjoy it outside. So planning ahead is sometimes key. Sometimes. I like spontaneity, but when it comes to margaritas, I really, really recommend you try the homemade margarita mix. You will never go back to store-bought again. So now here comes the big question for all of you. Are you what's your perfect margarita? Are you a classic one on the rocks, frozen? Do you prefer them fruity and salt or no salt? Let me know. I'd love to hear what makes the perfect margarita for you. And while you're out in your escape zone, be it your back patio, your backyard, your front porch, wherever that is, and you're sipping on your margarita, and you know what, and you're in some downtime, you should be reading a book about Key West, which is why you should join our Fun in Key West book club. We are having a blast over there. I keep telling you that, and I keep saying, come over and join us. When you go over to FunInKeyWest.com, scroll all the way to the bottom of the page, and there is a link to sign up for the book club. We offer a free version of the book club, and we have a book every month that ties into Key West somehow. There's always something tying in. And so we are 5 months in, and I have to tell you, it's been a fun ride so far. And so while you're sipping your margarita, nothing better than reading a book about Key West, right? I am Michele with Fun in Key West. Thank you so much for stopping by. Let me know what your favorite margarita is. And in the meantime, I will be updating some things over on the website about the margaritas. So stay tuned for all of that. In the meantime, you guys have a great day, and we will talk to you tomorrow.